Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. This is a Focus Friday video, and through the month of June we're looking at our DSP, our Designer Series paper, pattern paper, and looking at different ways to use it and to stretch our paper. So today I'm looking at using up all our scraps of Designer Series paper that we all have in our scrap bin. And this is the card I made, and this used up the Flowering Fields tulip paper, and that's what we made. So today I'm going to use up another set of paper, and these are scraps from my bin of the Sweet Talk paper, and I'm going to put it all down here on a piece of cardstock that measures basic white, that's 14.35 centimeters by 10, and to try and minimize glue going everywhere, I'm going to use my silicone mat. So let's have a look what we've got. Start off with some of this, and I'm just going to use some seal. It's a learning curve to use this seal, I tell you, but I'm going to get there. So used to using my snail that it's a little different. Okay, so that's what we have there, and now we're just going to layer up different pieces, different sizes. So let's put this piece here next to it, something like that, or should we break it up? You can faff about for ages, I tell you. Actually, I'm going to break it up with this little piece here. With our conversation hearts. This little one that says love. Just like that. And we're just going to keep on doing this as we go up our piece of paper. And it's a great way to use up all your scraps. Make something totally different. You can, of course, if you want to do as well, put down some adhesive sheet on your base, and then you wouldn't be sticking every little piece, but I somehow find I get into less of a mess doing it this way. Don't ask me why, but just seems to work better for me. The good thing about seal, like snail, is if you get glue in the wrong place, you can just rub it off. There's no problem at all, which is very useful. Okay, so what shall we have next? I've got a whole load of scraps here, so you can choose. Let's go back to some of this, I think. Just seems to break it up a little bit. And we've got Je t'aime. And we'll use this piece here, why not? Like that. And what should we do next? Got too many choices, that's the problem. Let's use that. I like that. Okay. Pop this down, and then we're just going to cut off all the bits that are overhanging. Now, what I should say at this point is, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. It does make a big difference. This is the one, this is a Friday Focus video, as I said, and I've been starting the series since the beginning of the year, so there's lots of different Friday Focus videos out there, and I will link the playlist at the end of this video, so do check it out. We've looked at various topics this year, like stenciling, embossing, colouring, shaker cards, all sorts of different things. So It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it a lot, so do check that out, and I hope you find it useful. Let's put our last little piece down. There we go. And we have some scraps left over here for, whoopsie daisy, for another card at another time. So we're going to put this away. I'm going to take our nice long scissors, and we're just going to cut off, use the scissors here just to cut off all of this excess. And of course everything's going to stick to your scissors, so be aware of that. And you, of course. That just has to, doesn't it? How many times when you're crafting do you find sometimes things stick to you better than they stick to what they're meant to? Just seems to be. Sod's law. Okay, let's get rid of all these bits down here now. Okay, all stuck to my, this is how my poor scissors get all gunked up. Let's get rid of all these bits before they stick to anything else. Goodbye little bits, toodaloo. Okay, so that is a panel. Isn't that fun? Nice way to use up your scraps. So let's stick this down on our card base and get it out of the way for now. Card base is a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. I'm just going to stick this down. Just like that. Okay, and set that aside. So we're going to stamp our sentiment next. So I've got a piece here of basic white. This is just a normal scrap. And the stamp set we're going to use is this one called Peaceful Moments. I'm going to use the sentiment that says, wishing you every happiness the special day will bring. And we're going to do some heat embossing, so I'm stamping this in Versamark, so let's give it a really good ink up. And actually, before I do anything else, let me put down some powder. Just using my powder tool, and this just stops the ink from going anywhere else. And okay, close it up, put that aside, bring in my embossing powder. I have a paintbrush here which I can get rid of anything that shouldn't be here. Just give it a little. But that looks good. Now I'm going to leave that there, and using these dies here, the rectangle stitch dies, I use this one here, and I cut out a piece, and again from a scrap of basic white, and silicone mats are ready. And we're going to emboss the edges of this so it matches our embossing. So I'm going to just take my ink pad and just get the edges really nicely inked up. Okay. And then we're just going to use some of this powder. And now I'm just going to heat emboss these two, and I'll be back. Okay, so I heat embossed everything, as you can see. So we're going to stick down one to the other now. And let's put this on top like this. And you can see now you've got an exact match of your silver in the centre to your border. Isn't that clever? So, I should have said I cut out my sentiment using the same rectangle stitch dies as I cut out the other piece. So I just used the second smallest there. These rectangle stitch dies are amazing. Such a useful thing to have in your stash. I use it time and time again. Now, from my scrap that I did some cutting, I'm going to do some punching now, and I'm going to use this bow punch. Get rid of those. I'm just punching out pieces using this bow punch, and just using up all my scraps. So let's see, get rid of this bits, and whoopsie daisy, put this all to the side, bring back our sentiment, our card base here, and our sentiment here, and we're going to use some dimensionals here just to pop it up, to give it a little bit of shadow, just a bit more interest. There we go, get rid of that. And then plonk this, I think, yes, in the centre. Definitely in the centre. Just like that. And then I'm just going to use a bit of glue and tuck these. Just to give a bit of extra foliage. I'll need a lot of glue on the back, to be honest. I haven't used a lot of these, just a little bit, just to give something. I'm just doing 3 bunches, just here in the corner, just there to give something. And that is our card done. So they're the two, one using the tulip paper, one using the sweet talk paper. Which do you prefer, A or B? Well, let me know. I hope you like these cards. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. If you want any more information about the project, as I said, it's all on the blog post on my website. And the links to that and all my social media links are also in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!